Hey, it's Elizabeth. This is your weekly tasting. And this week, you say Grenache, I say Garnacha. Actually, I say it's all delicious, which is why we're offering this pack. This is a showdown between the French style of Grenache and the Spanish style of Garnacha, but really it doesn't matter because all things that are made from this grape are tasty, easy to drink, and they are way above their pay grade in terms of value. So I think you're gonna learn a ton about the grape and the range that it offers through this pack. Now we've got a comparison here, French versus Spanish, and then even within the grape we have, or within the country, we have a comparison of something that's a little bit more of an everyday wine and then something that's a bit more serious. In the French wines, you're gonna find that they're a little earthier. You're going to find them blended with some other grapes. They still have a really strong Grenache character, but they're gonna be better food wines. Spanish wines, as is typical of Spain, much more of a sipper, super tasty, and something that can be enjoyed with food or without food. Now, I picked one everyday sipper and one more serious version. In the French, you're gonna have a basic Cote de Rhone. That's kind of the benchmark for what Cote de Rhone is, because there's a lot of crap Cote de Rhone out there. So we're gonna reset the benchmark for you, and then you're gonna be able to taste that Grenache component, something that's acidic, it's got some earth, a spice, sense of place, and then we're gonna move on to the Signargues, which is one of the 18 villages of the Cote de Rhone that's a bit higher quality, has a bit more of a sense of place. This is a food wine all the way, high acidity, a little bit less fruit here. On the Spanish side, same thing. A wine that is super fruity, really easy to enjoy on its own, and then something that's old vines, concentrated, full, smoky, dense, heavy, really delicious, totally different style. They call it Grenache. Really not a great move since Campo de Borja is where Garnacha originated, we think, so they probably should stick to their guns, but doesn't even matter what they call it. Frankly, you say Grenache, I say Garnacha, I actually say it's all delicious, and I think you will too after you taste all the wines of this pack. The 2015 Compagnie Vinicole de Rhone. This is a cooperative that makes Cote de Rhone, and this Cote de Rhone is so great as a benchmark Cote de Rhone. So I love it because its flavor is relatively simple, but there's a lot more than meets the eye, and that's mostly because of the texture. So if we take a look at the color, I like to do it on a white surface so that I can see the color truly. You see that it is really transparent. You can see your fingers through it, very light colored rim, so we can expect that it's not gonna be a very dense wine. And the nose just screams France. It's got lots of terroir, lots of dirt, fresh raspberry juice. It's a little grapey, dark floral notes. And if we taste it, yum. It's a little bit silky at first, but then the tannin, mild tannin, and some mouth-drying acidity underneath your tongue is watering and watering probably. That red raspberry, the earth, all of that is there. So the fruit flavors plus the dirt equals some sort of wonderful balance with a tiny bit of bite. It is so satisfying. Now, surprisingly, Grenache does not go fabulously well with tomato sauce all the time, but this wine was so perfect that it went so well with margarita pizza and pasta with marinara sauce. You're going to love this wine with so many things, or you can just drink it alone as a lighter sipper. It's a phenomenal example of what Cote de Rhone should be. A little bit of terroir, a little bit of fruit, wonderful texture. 2013 Ricitos de Oro Navarra. This wine is the Goldilocks of Garnacha. That's what Ricitos de Oro means. Navarra is at elevation, so the wines tend to be very fresh. They have a good interplay of acidity and fruit flavor. You're gonna find a classic, easy drinking Garnacha in this wine. I have my nerdy white paper. You can't really look at color on a colored surface, so we're gonna look here. It's lighter in color. You can see your finger through it, maroon kind of in the center, and you've got a clear rim on the outside. Some decent legs on this wine from the alcohol, and so the wine smells like licorice and dried cherry. It's got a woodsy note, but it has some lifted kind of floral aromatics. That's from that 5% of white Garnacha that they put in there, Garnacha Blanca. And you will smell all of these lovely lighter floral aromatics in the wine. So let's give it a taste. Yum, yum. Licorice. It's a little chewy, dried cherry strawberry. The finish lasts for a long time. It's got a medium body, some really medium to very light tannin, good and fresh acidity. This is gonna go fabulously well with mild cheddar cheese. It's gonna go well with lentil-based dishes, barbecue, or honestly, put it in the fridge, chill it, have it by itself. It is so tasty. This is an excellent example of a fruity, easy to drink Garnacha. You're gonna love this one. The Quo Old Vines Grenache is from Campo de Borja, which is where we think the Garnacha grape originated. So it's a little strange that they're calling it Grenache, but I think they're trying to signal to us that they made it in a more moderate style, the French style. Older vines, 25 to 30 years. I'm not sure that I would classify that necessarily as old vines, but they are calling it that. Concentrated flavors. This is definitely a heavier wine. So let's take a look at the color real quick. I've got my dorky piece of paper. It is maroon or super dark in the center, a little bit lighter around the rim. It's showing a little bit of brown. That's from the 5 years of age. It's a 2012, so we can expect that. So let's give it a swirl. Take little doggy sniffs. You don't want to inhale too much all at once or else you'll kill your nasal receptors. Oh, it smells so good. It's like oak, it's like cola, it's smoky, it's got some red fruit on it. Really nice nose. Definitely something you would want to drink, which is important. So if you take a sip. Okay. Raspberry, dark cherry. There's that oak again, but it's not overpowering. I would recommend decanting this wine for a little bit of time before you taste it. You're gonna get some mint and this sort of salty, earthy note to it, which is really pleasant. And the finish is like candied cherry. It's like a campfire. It's like sauteed green herbs, ripe, dense fruit, oak, nice smooth tannin, not too overpowering, smoky, good acidity, gonna make it really nice with food. But all in all, a great style of what fruit and oak and a little bit of older vine can do for a wine, concentrated Grenache that's a bit more powerful than what we have from the Signargues, which is the higher end or the more refined version from France. So this is bolder, fruitier, maybe a little bit more of a sipper, but definitely awesome with food. I think you're gonna love this one. The Clos d'Alzan Signargues Côte de Rhone from 2014 is fabulous and unique. And Signargues is the southernmost of these villages and the vineyards of the top growing areas of the Côte de Rhone. So you're gonna find pebbly, iron-rich soils here, lots of local wild herbs that you'll find in the wine. So when we look on our white piece of paper here, we cannot see through the wine. It's very thick and bold. Actually, the tiers or the legs are a bit stained. Although the rim of the wine is clear, you can't see through it. So we can expect a little bit of a bolder style. So we give it a swirl. Licorice and blackberry, black pepper and leather, but tons of earth. This wine is slightly stinky, I'm not gonna lie. Don't be put off by it. That's that sense of place. That's why Signargues has its village appellation as opposed to just being a regular Côte de Rhone. You're smelling the land in which it grows, earthy and very tangy red fruit. So let's take a sip. Now what you're gonna find here is licorice and blackberry, lots of black fruit, even a little bit of leather. That sense of place is so strong in this wine, and the flavor is going to build with each sip. So even if you don't like the earthiness to start out with, keep sipping it and tasting it, and you're going to get accustomed to this lovely earthy note. strong acidity. Underneath my tongue is watering and watering, medium tannin, and the wine is such a great food wine. So you're gonna wanna have this with hard cheeses or herb rubbed poultry because it has this herbal note to it, that sense of garrigue or that local wild herb note. You're gonna enjoy this wine so much more with food than alone. I would say definitely decant this for at least 30 minutes. You could even hold this wine if you wanted to and age it for about 5 years. It's delicious, but it needs a bit of time, either in a decanter or in a cellar. Such a delicious wine, such a contrast from the Côte de Rhone. Although lots of similarities in the sense of place and in the earth and herb character. Terrific wine. I really hope you enjoyed the You Say Grenache, I Say Garnacha pack, and that you've learned so much about the range in the styles of this amazing grape. I hope that you are sitting there going, oh my gosh, Elizabeth, when is the next Garnacha Grenache pack gonna come out? If you love it, let us know. You can give us feedback and we'll see if we can get it on the docket again. In the meantime, make sure you check back on Monday to see what the next pack that's available is for you.